Welcome back to SLIAC TV and a happy championship Saturday to you. We welcome you into Grant Gymnasium. Tyler Rose and Jim Plyman alongside you for our men's basketball championship final here between the number 1 seed Webster University Gorloks. They are also the host, and the number 2 seed MUW Owls making the trip up from Mississippi as we will crown a champion this afternoon. Jim, these two split the regular season series, one apiece. It was a 7-point victory for Webster in late January, and then to close out the regular season, MUW got a big 20-point win at home and sets the stage here for a certain winner-take-all game number 3.
It sure did, and the win for the W, that was a big one for them. As a confidence builder, they know they're looking. Don't tell me you don't look down the line. You look at this conference tournament, they know they're going to be the 2 seed, and know that Webster's a 1 seed, and they got a solid victory at home. And that was after, Webster had won 16 in a row, so they've now won 17 out of their last 18, and that only loss was to the Owls. Yeah,
that was a 20-point loss there to wrap up the regular season. And the only caveat for that game is that for the Gorloks, they had locked up the 1 seed and the hosting duties here, and that's not to take anything away from MUW in a really impressive 20-point win. I think we discussed it a little bit on Thursday, Jim. I think you asked the Webster head coach, Chris Bunch, it doesn't matter what you have wrapped up or not. A 20-point loss against a team who's right there with you in the standings is unacceptable, especially to close out the regular season. So there's plenty of motivation on the Gorloks side. Of course, we mentioned the Owls being the underdogs, if you will, but we look down the stats, the team stats a little bit here, Jim. They're really even, both averaging close to about 83, 84 points per game, giving up 70. MUW giving up a little bit more. Yeah. You notice, so MUW, they don't foul very often.
No, they are very low in the nation in fouls. It's amazing what some of the stats, that they have. They are at number, I believe it's 3 in the nation in fouls. It's just an amazing, stat that they are that low. And they only have 9 players.
Yeah.
So they have to be careful with that. And there's no doubt. And of those 9, the lowest guy averages 9.5 points a game. So they do spread it out. Trent Walker's at 9.5. Well, you got the player of the year in SLIAC and Trey Hughley. He averages almost 23 points a game, and in between that, 14 for Joe Hayes Austin, 14 for Devin McCain, 14 for Tyler Shepard. So they're well-rounded, and the Gorloks are the same way. And we saw them in the semifinal night that both teams kind of cruised the victories.
Yeah.
And MU defeated Lyon 80-58. Webster beat Spalding 79-43, and Webster's defense shined.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of the game for MU against Lyon, their defense shined. So and they got the defensive player of the year in Joe Hayes Austin. So there's talent out here. We haven't even discussed Webster, how well-rounded they are in their scoring.
I was going to say that Webster mentioned it. The roster size certainly going to be a big difference between the two schools. But to your point, equally is spreading the wealth. Charles Nelson, Jamard Sykes, they're two that's going to get heavily involved. Chartrand as well, Painter as well.
Yep.
So just kind of going down the list, certainly a few more options on that Webster sideline. But look, MUW has played with 9 all year long, and they fared pretty well at 16-10, 11-5 in conference and a number 2 seed. And just 1 win away from claiming their first SLIAC tournament championship in their second appearance.
Yeah, and Webster, they're not, they're not shy about being in this championship game. They have 3 tournament titles, in their history, and their last championship was in 2020. So they're gunning for more here, and this should be one heck of a high-paced basketball game, I think.
We'll turn it over to the PA here as we get our announcements and anthem here on SLIAC TV.
This afternoon's contest features the 2nd seed, Mississippi University for Women Owls, and the 1st seed, Webster University Gorloks. The Owls enter the championship game with an overall record of 16-10 and 11-5 in conference play. The Gorloks enter the championship game with a 23-3 overall record and 15-1 in conference play. The winner of this this game will punch their ticket to the 2025-26 NCAA Tournament. At this time, can you please rise and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem. Let's get the starting lineup for today's contest. For MUW, a senior from New Braunfels, Texas, number 1, Jackson Reed. For Webster, a junior from St. Louis, Missouri, number 1, Charles Nelson. For MUW, a sophomore from Saxe, Alabama, number 3, Trey Ugly. For Webster, a senior from St. Louis, Missouri, number 2, Jamar Sykes II. For MUW, a sophomore from Pontotoc, Mississippi, number 5, Joe Hayes Austin. Junior from Houston, Mississippi, number 11, Tyler Shepard. For Webster, a junior from St. Peters, Missouri, number 33, Adam Painter. For MUW, a senior from Hastings, Florida, number 15, Trent Walker. Number 35, Justin Hugo. The Owls are coached by Dean Burrows in his 5th season. The Warlocks are coached by Chris Bunch in his 24th season. The St. Louis Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, the NCAA, and Webster University promote good sportsmanship by student-athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments or other intimidating actions.
Well, we've got the business stuff out of the way. We've got the announcements, the anthem, the starting lineups, and now all we got to do is play some basketball. 20 minutes on the clock. The 1 seed, the 2 seed wouldn't have it any other way. The Gorlocks and the Owls battling it out for a championship here this afternoon. The Gorlocks looking for their 4th tournament title. As Jim mentioned, last one came in 2020. The Owls looking for their 1st SLIAC tournament championship in just their 2nd appearance. They've got the Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year to help them out. And it should be a very, very fun matchup here as we'll crown a champion.
Yeah, this is good. This is their 8th meeting between the 2 schools, and the Gorlocks are holding just a 4-3 edge. And you know, as we've mentioned, they split their conference games this past season. And this will tell the tale for sure, and the trip to the NCAA tournament for the winner of this ball game. Tyler Rosen, take it away.
Thank you, Jim. Hughley and Hugo to battle for the tip. It's won by the Gorlocks as it goes right up to Jamard Sykes II. And not even 5 seconds in, the Gorlocks have a 2-point lead.
That's about as fast as you can do it.
No kidding. And Shepherd.
We said it was going to be fast-paced, but hey.
Yeah, we thought so. And certainly makes to be. Austin drives, pulls up in the paint, gets a runner to go. That's a tough finish.
That's a player to watch.
Yeah, you mentioned him, Defensive Player of the Year, but he's certainly not afraid to put down a couple of shots too. Saw that on Thursday night as well.
Yeah, he sees the floor really well.
Sykes II to Painter, who works it down to Hugo. Kick back out, Chartrand. And out in Nelson, defended by Austin, kick back out. Chartrand's 3 on its way. No good off the front of the rim. Good box out underneath. And now MUW back the other way. Hughley now, Conference's Player of the Year, averaging over 20 points a game.
Watch this matchup between Hugo.
Yeah. Hugo defending right in the lap of Hughley, making life difficult. You called it, Jim. Big man feeling it.
Watch this, too. They're going to have a battle.
6 to shoot. Austin gets baseline, works around a man, puts up a shot, no good as he falls to the floor. Back the other way come the Gorlocks. Nelson dribbles through the free throw line. Painter, 1 dribble, and will give it back to Chartrand. Sykes II, tracks one down in the corner, flips to Nelson, running the paint and gets 2 off the glass. Good movement without the ball there for the Gorlocks, gives them a 4-2 lead.
We saw both teams really handle the ball well Thursday night in the semifinals.
3 on its way from Shepherd. He connects to give the Owls a lead. Junior out of Houston, Mississippi.
Both teams only have 2 seniors on the squad, so there's a future still to come for these 2 schools.
A little too close for comfort there. Ugo tried to get Sykes II going through the paint. And now MUW and the Owls back the other way. Walker just feathers it back out. Yeah, could be seeing it, to your point, Jim, a preview of maybe a couple of playoff or tournament matchups in the coming years. At 3 again from Shepherd is good.
This is how they started Thursday night, super duper hot from the field.
2 straight from Shepherd. He's got 6 of the 8, and he's given MUW a 4-point lead. Nelson hangs up in the air and drops it in.
They're going to keep the scoreboard moving.
Yeah, going to have to be alert over there at the scorers table today, that's for sure. The way these 2 teams like to get up and down the floor.
MUW number 1 in the country on field goal percentage. Look
Hughley,
at that.
What a find and a finish there from Jackson Reed. Oh, we talk about Hughley scoring 20. He's got vision too.
Yes, he does.
Sykes II off the pass from Chartrand. That 3 no good, in and out. Rebound in the corner to MUW and Hughley.
Well, and you get your money's worth watching the coach for MUW too.
Yeah, Dean Burrows.
He's a little animated over there.
Yeah, he really is.
He's into it. I like it.
Well, we were talking, I think, on Thursdays we get a foul underneath. His team, I don't think, ever led by less than 20 in the second half, but they were on the wrong side of a 6-0 run.
Yeah.
And he fired off a timeout like they were down 10.
Yeah.
And again, just the competitive nature in any coach for sure as Hughley knocks in the first.
Sure.
But yeah, fun to watch, that's for sure. And in our second game, we'll have another active coach on the sideline for the Gorlocks, and Jordan Olofsson. Saw the ladies getting their opportunity and a bit of a walkthrough before getting set up today. Oh, 12-6 should be the score. We have 13-6 here. There they go. Fix it and turn it over to the Gorlocks. The Shepherd pulls it back out wisely, slowing it up and allows some reinforcements to follow.
There, they got the scoreboard right.
Yeah.
Don't take long. People start yelling at the guy. You
Oh,
know?
I know. Hey. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they know it. As Hughley hesitates, trying to go around Harding Fair. Harding Fair planted. Hughley, though, dances him around, puts him in the spin cycle, and gets 2. Timeout called, 15:49 to play, a 14-6 Owls lead.
He worked that, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Until he got him off the ground a little bit, and like you said, he spun him around and got the points.
Take the opportunity to go over some all-conference or some stats, whatever we got here. We got info.
We got notes everywhere.
Well, we'll take the time throughout our first game and certainly our second game too to go through the all-conference.
Yeah, coming off the free throws and another basket by Trey Hughley. Let's talk about. He is the sophomore forward from Mississippi University for women, and he was the Player of the Year. He was selected by the coaches. Hughley was a force this season. He garnered 6 Player of the Week awards while averaging 23.3 points and 11 rebounds. So that's a double, every game for him. And he was the only player in the league to average a double-double this season on the SLIAC. So that, and he goes into the record books as the first Owl to be selected as a men's basketball Player of the Year. And then while we are on this with some of the conference awards, his teammate Joe Hayes Austin was named the Defensive Player of the Year for SLIAC. He, the sophomore, led the league with 61 steals and ranked second in block shots with 26. And he was joined on the all-defensive team by Jalen Jeter, Jameel Johnson, DeMonte McCampbell, and Jamard Sykes II.
Oh, thank you, Jim. And as we said, we'll get through a good portion of those throughout the game. And, of course, in our second game of the day, that's at 7 o'clock when the women will get their opportunity.
And we also invite you to stay tuned after the game for post-game ceremonies and awards, trophy presentations, cutting down the ribbon, the net.
Nelson's deep 3 off the mark, and about 3 Owls sky for the rebound. Hughley will take credit for it.
Oh, somebody
finds Austin all alone down low. He can't finish as Harding Fair got back in the mix.
He heard footsteps.
Yeah, had too much time.
Big footsteps from,
right.
from Harding.
Yeah, that 3 on its way, no good from Chartrand. So the Gorlocks going cold here to start. 14-6, the Owls lead.
Jackson Reed's pulled down a few rebounds here early.
Walker methodically just running the point here and
slowed down a little.
Corner 3 on its way is good.
It's good from the start as soon as it left his hand.
He knew it right away. Extends the lead out to 17-6. Shepard's got 3 threes from beyond the arc, 9 points. The corner. Painter gives it to Nelson. Gets it to the left. Drops it off to Painter running the baseline. Kicked out to Chartrand. Corner 3 on its way is good.
They needed that.
Yeah, that's a big answer. Gorlock's team's been searching for some offense here to start. Austin to Shepard now. Ride that hot hand. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of off air, Jim, wondering if MUW needed to go to a 3rd or 4th option. Will they have one? Well,
yeah.
Shepard proving to be so early. Get it right back into Shepard in the corner. He just stepped out as he planted that foot. Turns it back over to the Gorlocks.
There you saw some of the Defensive Player of the Year in Joe Hayes Austin. Quick hands.
Just so active. And, again, speaking to your earlier point about an Owls team that doesn't foul too often, a great credit there to Joe Hayes Austin being Defensive Player of the Year and just how active he is. His Painter collects down low, has one defender on his hip. His hook shot no good. Rebounded by the Owls and then thrown off of Painter. It'll stay with MUW, 13-25.
That was a key possession there for Webster. They got the ball back and had a chance to make a little bit of a run here, but missed the shot.
Horton and Reed into the game for the Gorlocks. Sebastian Reed went for 10 in that semifinal matchup with Spalding. Gets into the game for the first time today. Austin's corner 3 in and out. Rebound to the Gorlocks.
Gorlocks need to convert here. They're not panicking.
Fake there from Painter, or rather Chartrand. Harding Fair collects a bounce pass, defended by Hughley. Hughley drops off. Harding's fair shot off the mark and off the backboard.
Another opportunity missed.
Hughley kind of baited Harding Fair into that as he dropped off, gave him space. Harding Fair rushed the shot a bit. Good ball movement here by MUW, and taking a push there was Walker.
I could have called that foul.
Yeah, I think if we didn't get a call, Walker was certainly going to call his own foul there.
Walker down, hit that hip on that hardwood floor.
A little slow to get up, but he appears to be all right. It'll be a inbound underneath. And just the second team foul here for the Gorlocks. Comes with 12:35, and MUW again yet to commit a foul as a team. Inbound will go to Hughley. There's Walker now. Appears to be all right. Goes to Austin in the corner. And now being swung around the perimeter.
Watch him move here.
Oh, good.
Got another look.
Movement is Austin. Another open
from there.
Three. Yep. No good. But again, you can just see this Al's offense, how crisp they are moving the ball. Chartrand at the other end, no good from three. Sebastian Reed gets the offensive board. His jumper, no good.
3 times down, Tyler.
Yeah.
That they haven't scored after MUW failed to score.
Good no call there as the loose ball is picked up by MUW. Yeah, getting the stops are the Gorlocks. They just haven't been getting the scores right now. And this Al's offense showing no signs of slowing down as Walker hits from about the free throw line. Under 12 to play in the first half. It's a 10-point Owls lead. Reed turns to face a basket, settles for Horton. Nelson now dribbles with the left, splits a few defenders and gets a finish off the window. Man, he's so good in tight spaces.
That was beautiful.
I mean, just the guts to take on three like that going into the rim. Not a ton of space, too, on his approach.
No foul was there. You know, they weren't going to foul, so he went in. Found that gap. You could see it perfectly from here.
It's about one thing you can guarantee with this Owls team is they're not going to foul often, as that one goes between the legs of Hughley at the block, and back to the Gorlocks with 11:01 to play, and we get a media timeout. We'll keep it right here.
The 2026 SLIAC Coach of the Year goes to Webster University's Chris Bunch. This is the 8th time in Coach Bunch's career where he has won the award. Bunch guided the Gorlocks to a 15-1 conference record this season, including winning their first 15 SLIAC games. The Gorlocks were the regular season champs, their first since 2023, and its first outright championship since 2020. And that 22 win total, Tyler, during the regular season, that set a new program record. So congratulations to Coach Chris Bunch of the Webster Gorlocks.
Yeah, congratulations. Certainly in order for him, again, eighth Coach of the Year honor.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly running out of shelf space, I'm sure.
24 years.
Yeah, that's
24 years.
Incredible career, and 22 wins, program record during the regular season. Each one now after will just keep adding on. He's got 23, hoping that 24th brings a championship and not to open the season next year. 11:01 left to play here in this first half. Tyler Rose and Jim Plyman alongside you. Glad you're with us. First of 2 for us today. We'll have a bit of a gap in between before the 7 o'clock tip of our women's championship. What a nice move along the baseline from Chartrand. Just couldn't get the finish on the reverse.
Now can MU capitalize?
Hughley able to keep the possession, kicks it out, worked into the corner. 3 on its way from Shepard, no good. Nelson.
He's going.
Yeah, head of steam all the way down the floor. No one wanted to pick him up, and he goes off the glass and immediately calls a timeout, draws a timeout from the head coach, Dean Burrows. I think it'll be a 30-second timeout. And
8 points now for Charles Nelson, who averages 18.4 a game.
Comes with 10:28 left to play here in this first half, and a good timeout called there by Dean Burrows just to stop whatever mini run that the Scorlocks team is going on, because now all of a sudden the Owls have gone a little cold here.
Well, you see Nelson attacking the basket
Yeah.
here 2 times in a row, going right at it.
Both teams making their way back out onto the floor.
Yeah, Coach Burrows didn't like what he saw there. He wanted to make sure that don't happen again.
Yeah. And he saw it twice and was like, I'm not going to see it a third time in a row.
Exactly.
Can't blame him. Is Austin. Gets the extra pass into the corner. Devin McCain into the game for the Owls. Extra pass to Hughley, who has position at the block and goes up and in for 2.
Yeah, you called that right. He was in the right position.
Had the defender on the wrong side of the block there. Hughley gets 2 more. Nelson puts up a 3. Fouled and 1. Nelson starting to take over a little bit for this Scorlocks team at the offensive end. Chance for a 4-point play. Exactly at the midway point of this first half.
Yeah, and that's their first foul.
And Nelson completes it. A 4-point play makes it a 4-point game. The Owls cross the timeline. McCain. And now Shepard.
This is interesting game, interesting matchups.
Hughley
Good cut.
tried to get Shepard in. It was knocked away as Reed came in at the last second. Nelson pulls up from 3. They're going to give him a 2. His toe was on the line, they say. It was close. Referee had it all the way. But another big shot from Nelson. And again, just really starting to take over for the Gorlocks. It's a 2-point Owl lead.
So let's see how the W handles a little adversity here.
Down low, Shepard puts it on the floor, has it knocked away. Chartrand had a hand in the mix. Up to Horton, slows, now drives. His shot was blocked by
Great
Hughley.
defense there.
Wow.
What a block.
How many times do you see a defender try to do that and get whistled for the foul? Is now we get Horton whistled for a foul there on the loose ball. Horton pleading for a jump ball. Possession arrow would have stayed with MUW anyway. But Horton does pick up the foul. His first, team's third, with 8:52 to play in the first. Walker to inbound for the Owls. Goes to Reed, who gives it right back.
Nice cut.
Oh, what a good
too
find
strong.
along the baseline as McCain went up and couldn't
That's-
go. Shot was no good. Hughley gets a rebound, and he's fouled on his way back up.
So Trey Hughley will, no, they're going to go underneath.
Well, referees got together, said it was just on the rebound. Go with the box look here, will the Owls. Say inbound underneath. Wow, somehow that pass got
I don't
through
know
into
how that
Walker.
did.
And Walker draws the foul.
In the last few minutes, I think W has kind of tried to force some things in and hasn't really worked. But they get the foul out of this, and it'll be Trent Walker to the line. Walker, one of the seniors out of Hastings, Florida.
First is good, makes it a 3-point game. Second is good. 2-for-2 trip there for Trent Walker. Pushes the lead back out to 4 for the Owls. Nelson over to Painter. Takes one dribble and his pass was knocked away. Loose ball getting on the floor there was Kosi Constant.
It was
And
Austin,
jump ball.
Yeah, Austin got his hand in there to deflect that bounce pass. Ball ended up on the floor, so did a few players.
Don't believe we saw Nkosi Constant on Thursday in the semifinal. If we did, he came in late in the game. He gets some minutes here, was in the mix there on that loose ball, and maybe into the game to try and offset Hughley down low. Reed looking for an option. We'll give it to Walker. Dribbles in, drops it off. Running the baseline well is Devin McCain as he gets 2. Oh, this Owls team's impressive the way they move without the ball at the offensive end. Nelson, a deep 3 on its way. A little short off the front of the rim. Joe Austin getting in the mix as he tips at it. Rebound a couple of times. Up the floor, McCain's shot off the mark was contested. Maybe a bit rushed and ill-advised. But Webster back the other way. Sykes the second, tried to flip it to Reed, flips it out of bounds, and goes back.
A little too fancy there.
To MUW, 7:34 to play. Will we get our under 8? I believe we will. We'll take this one here as you're watching SLIAC TV, powered by Prepcast.com.
I want to say thank you. You know, a lot of your work doesn't get the appreciation that it deserves. What you do is lift up all of us, and you do that so selflessly.
We all have the same goal, which is to tell the great, incredible stories of these athletes in the college community.
That is why we are a great team as storytellers in this room, is we have to work together through really challenging, sweet moments.
Thank you to college sports communicators all across the country.
.34 to play here in this first half. Tyler Rose and Jim Plyman alongside you. Glad you're with us. It's been a fun first half here in our men's championship game between the Gorlocks of Webster University, the #1 seed, and the #2 seed MUW Owls. Owls coming up from Mississippi. Got a big semifinal win on Thursday over Lyon. And they've done just about everything right here to start this one.
Their biggest lead was 11 points, and then the Gorlocks dwindled that down to 2 at 21-19. And now they're on a bit of a run here, a 4-0 run for the Owls.
And the Gorlocks have not led since the opening bucket of the game, which came 4 seconds in off the tip.
Double team here.
Hughley kicked into the corner. Walker jabs with the right and stays planted in the corner. Now Joe Austin plays a bit of catch with Jackson Reed. Works around, Painter drives, flips it up over his head, no good.
Too strong.
Put back, can't follow in from McCain. And then that's knocked away. Joe Austin in the mix again.
In the mix is right. On the other end, picking up the ball there was McCain.
It's just uncanny how he finds himself right in the middle of these plays and making them. As Reed drives and is cut off there by Painter.
Painter plays well.
Yeah, he really does. Never feels out of it defensively. He's got that length to get back in. Hughley hesitates, then decides to go up and over Constant. Shot was no good off the rim, and now Nelson, again, just with a head of steam down the floor. No one really doing much to pick him up. The Owls don't want to foul. And Nelson gets 2 more. It's back to a 4-point game. 6:20 to play.
That was off the Painter rebound.
Yeah.
We were just talking about him. And now he's out here one-on-one. Looks like a little man-to-man defense here.
Get it into Hughley, who's defended by Constant. Ball was knocked away on his way up. And then the second attempt, they're going to get a foul.
I think Hughley got a break there.
Yeah, I believe you're right. Lost the handle once or twice on his way up. And they're going to get Constant with the foul. His first, team's 6th with 6:09 to play. And MUW with plenty to give if they wanted. Just the 1-team foul, as the first is good from Hughley. We get a sub into the game as Horton checks back in.
He's been money from the line. I don't want to give him the broadcaster jinx here, but there we go.
Makes another. 27-21, 6 minutes to play here in this first half. Sykes the second. Cut off, kicks it back out. Nelson gets into the paint, drops it off to Constant. His attempt no good. And then Sykes the second's fouled on his way out.
You know, it looked like he wanted to jam that home and thought, no, and then he didn't know what to do. Looked like he has second thoughts. Yeah, that's going to take him out of the game.
Harding Fair goes over to the scorer's table. Sykes the second stands at the free throw line. His first is up and good. Two for two. Puts it back in a 4-point game.
I feel like the W has had the edge here, but boy, the Gorlocks keep hanging on.
Yeah, they do. Nelson comes up with a turnover, gets it up the floor to Chartrand, who gets two. It's a 2-point game yet again. Home run ball down the floor. Hughley reads it well and gets 2 more points. Back to a 4-point game. You're absolutely right, Jim. I'd agree with you. It feels like MUW has certainly played the better of the two. The most consistent, I'd say, is 2 more points there for Chartrand. But, the Gorlocks just doing their thing, hanging around. That one's knocked out of bounds. We'll stay with MUW. 5:16 to play. And all this Gorlocks team, certainly with the experience and quality they have, that's all they need is to just stick around. They certainly feel they're primed for a run at any time, and this MUW team certainly is as well, the way they score. Again, both teams averaging right around 83 points per game. As Trent Walker will be directed exactly where to stand to inbound this one. Settles for Austin, who bounces.
Heavy pressure.
Yeah, gets a bounce pass out of the trap in the corner. Gets himself into another one as Shepard can't collect that one. Now brings it up. Yeah. Got caught going a bit too fast. We move under 5 minutes to play in the first half. That one picked off into the corner. Horton saves it and goes 3 rows into the stands. Nelson at the other end. Drives, kicks to Horton, back into the game.
Nice, no look.
Finds Sykes the second, who can't finish it. Man.
That was unfortunate.
Horton could have brought down the house with either Sykes finishing that one or taking a 3. And that one's blocked at the other end by Constant. Second attempt no good, out of bounds. It'll stay with MUW, 4:33 to play.
Crowd's getting into this one now, Tyler.
It's heating up, that's for sure.
It is. Oh, these guys are battling out there.
Quickly off the inbound. Hughley's bounce pass just gets to Joe Austin. Runner on its way in, rimmed out as he falls to the floor.
Austin can't get one to fall.
No, he can't. I think he's wanted a foul a couple of times too. Kicked into the corner. Chartrand's 3 is good. Webster, for the first time since 1955 in this game, lead. Up the floor to McCain. He loses it. Back to the Gorlocks. 4:01 to play in the first half.
And we're going to get a timeout. We're going to get a timeout here called by the W.
Yeah, it comes with 4:01 in the Gorlocks with a fresh 30-29 lead. We'll take the timeout with both these teams. You're watching SLIAC TV, powered by PrepCast.com.
To get that extra 10%. Reach the next level with Athletic Republic. Athletic Republic is science-based performance sports training, delivering intense, position-specific one-on-one training. Stop working out and start training. Visit your local Athletic Republic training center today. Athletic Republic, where athletes who give 110% get the extra 10%.
Welcome back to SLIAC TV. Tyler Rose and Jim Plyman alongside you. It's a 30-29 Webster Gorlock lead. If you're just joining us, well, there's been a lot in between that you've missed.
Yeah.
They scored the game's first bucket, and that was their only lead.
No, they were up 4-2.
Or they were up 4-2.
4-2 right after it was tied. It was 2-2, then 4-2, and then the three-pointer that was hit by Tyler Shepard, and then it was all all the Owls from there
Yeah.
until these last 5 minutes or so, and turnovers have hurt.
Yeah, good point.
There's a lot of good pressure by the defense from the Gorlocks. Chartrand and Horton have really pumped up this crowd playing defense.
Great point. The effort play from Horton to save it, go 3 rows into the stands. And then Chartrand to hit a big 3. That one's knocked out of bounds. They're going to say it stays with Webster.
Joe Hayes Austin got his hand on it. Man, he's got quick hands.
He's just somehow in the mix all the time. I know we've said it a couple of times.
Yes, we have. But
he's there.
He's a force.
He is. I guess there's a reason he was voted Defensive Player of the Year. That's for sure. Sykes the second, dribbles for the Gorlocks. Horton tried to get it down low, ill-advised.
There you go.
As that pass was intercepted by Trent Walker, trying to get constant, and he was just never in a position to get that pass. Hughley, good up and under on the reverse.
That's why he's Player of the Year right there.
Yeah, certainly you'd think if this one stays as close as it has been, Hughley's just going to start to put the team on his back at the offensive end, the way he's been playing so far here today. That 3 on its way from Chartrand, and good. He's starting to heat up here. The senior out of St. Louis. 3 minutes to play in this first half.
Well,
Hughley.
You got a team in MUW, Tyler, that their field goal percentage is so high, and they're just having a little trouble hitting the basket.
And Joe Austin blocks that one. Is Chartrand fading away on his layup attempt, tried to flip it up. He'll stay with the Gorlocks, 2:44 underneath the basket. And checking into the game, looks like Theom.
And we've said this about the field goal percentage, number 1 in Division III play, but they're a little under par so far.
Yeah, they have gone cold recently. Theom sets a screen. Sykes the second, gets space in the corner, and hits from 3. 36-31. A find there of McCain on his way in, on his way up. He's fouled, and he'll go to the line. Chance to see the ball go through the hoop for this Owls team. And they will be shooting the next 2:26. Can all but guarantee the Gorlocks will not reach the bonus here, as MUW's only committed 2 fouls.
That's short.
Devin McCain, junior out of Mobile, leaves it a bit short. Shoots about 70% from the line. Second up and good. Trims the lead to 4 in favor of the Gorlocks.
And UW had an 11-point lead early on, and that has gone by the wayside.
Again, it's been hard work to get back into it. Nelson with the spin move. Can't get the finish. Ball tipped around. It falls to Sykes the second. He flips to Chartrand. His 3, no good. Tip towards the baseline. Saved by Sykes the second. Horton skies in. Finds Sykes the second along the baseline. Works into the corner. Turn and shoot 3, no good. Another long rebound will stay with the Gorlocks as Horton collects. Unbelievable.
Look at this.
Oh, goodness gracious. The way these guys are jumping around, think we got trampolines on the floor. That 3, no good. And finally, Hughley brings in the defensive rebound. And after all of that, an empty trip for the Gorlocks. Driving there, hanging up in the air, and is fouled as Theom picks up his first. See, is that Walker? Yeah. Walker going to the line for the Owls.
They've used a 6-man rotation, the Owls have. So they're a little huffing and a puffing with 1:34 to go.
Walker's first can't go. And he shoots 87% from the line. Tell you what, when you know there might be a ring fitting somewhere in the near future, things get a little tougher, don't they?
Sure do.
Walker to make it a one-possession game here with 94 seconds left in the half. He does.
Nice crowd in here, by the way,
Oh,
on this
yeah.
nice Saturday afternoon here in St. Louis.
And they'll have enough time, well, at least the Webster crowd, to go grab a bite to eat and come back for our prime time.
That's right.
7 o'clock women's championship. The Gorlocks will take on the Principia Panthers.
Usually with a block there.
Jim and I will be here for that one, along with Tim Miller running the camera. Appreciate Tim running the camera for us for both games today.
Yeah, he's all right. Yeah, he's all right.
Pulled double duty last night as well for the women's semifinals.
Nice.
Inbound to Sebastian Reed. He's fouled from behind on his way up by Jackson Reed. And Sebastian will go to the line for 2. Hughley with 11. Shepard has 9. He's been sitting on that 9 for a while. As the first from Reed is good for the Gorlocks. Chartrand's got 11. 13 belong to Nelson. Sykes a second with a silent 7. Sebastian Reed goes 2 for 2. He's replaced by Horton.
Lead is up to 5 now.
Man.
This full court pressure is hindered.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Hindered the Owls a bit.
Well, and to that point, it makes this group of 6 or rotation of 6 work even harder off the floor. You called that out a little bit ago. And a good find down low as Shepard has some space at the baseline. He gets 2 off the window as we approach the final minute of action in this first half. A fun one.
That was great ball movement by the Owls.
Yeah. That's something that's been consistent, getting the shots to fall there.
Yeah.
They hit a lull about midway through this first half. Nelson stepped back. Jumper is good.
42 seconds.
You can tell Nelson's just starting to feel it a little bit for this Gorlocks team. Along the baseline, kicked back out. Shepard drives, puts up a runner, got it to go. Such a tough finish there from the junior out of Houston, Mississippi, Tyler Shepard. Can essentially hold for the final shot here if you're the Gorlocks. Less than a second of difference between shot and game clock. Sykes the second. Calling for his screen. We'll kick it to Nelson, who's defended by Austin. Nelson, 4 to shoot, pulls up from 3 on its way. Too strong off the back heel. Ball being tipped around. Can't get a second attempt. And that's how this first half is going to end. The Gorlocks, it wasn't easy there through most of the first half, but they come all the way back and will carry a 3-point lead into the halftime break. We'll step aside real quick. When we come back, we'll talk the SID of the SLIAC. Brian Lavelle here on SLIAC TV.
For the love of the game. That's what it's all about, they say. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that.
It's more about team and the schools and communities we represent.
And for the many of us blessed with the strength to compete in sport at the college level, we understand that with what we were given comes a special obligation.
Our obligation to help those who have their own special needs and whose love for the game is no less intense.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. Since August of 2011, we and others from Division III campus communities have volunteered more than 250,000 hours, time away from the classroom and practice field, reaching across the country to coach and mentor Special Olympics athletes.
And to learn that in giving, we receive so much more in return. Help us keep that dream alive.
Be part of it.
Get involved.
You can make a difference.
Welcome back here at Grant Gymnasium here on the campus of Webster University. We are in the championship game here, and it's the Gorlocks of Webster University. They trailed the game early by 11. They are now back on top. They have a 40-37 lead, and we are joined here by Brian Lavalette as he joins us in the booth, and this game is kind of what we were expecting, isn't it?
Yes, it is. We mentioned, talked a little bit before the game, and we thought it'd be a dogfight, and that's what we have.
Yeah, it sure is, and I mean, it's kind of been an ebb and flow, and we got a good crowd here for this one. They're into it, and it's just a fun weekend, isn't it?
It is. It's always exciting to bring the teams together and watch them compete, not just for that AQ in the conference, but that right to go to the national tournament.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and certainly the Gorlocks have had some experience in doing that, and they had a wonderful season, and certainly they would like to get back. And and it's good that I think the conference has a team that they kind of look to as one of the elite for many years, and the program has done very well.
Yeah, they've had a super strong program, and of course, merging with another strong program from Pompon, so almost creating this super team of sorts, where you're bringing the best players from both teams together, and they've had quite the season.
Yeah. And so, what else is going on in SLIAC? What can you tell us? I know there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. So today we actually, obviously here at the men's basketball championship game later tonight, we have the women's here at Webster as well. Also currently going on, we have the indoor track and field taking place over at ELSA on the campus of Principia College. So that's going well. Our Commissioner Chastity Holloway is over there. We also have wrestling regionals going on right now, the men's wrestling regionals. The women's was last weekend. And then, of course, you got your teams playing the spring seasons. Those have already started, so baseball, softball are getting after it.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything.
They've got a good weekend for that here in St. Louis until tomorrow. So, and you want to talk a little bit about the SAAC and the something that's going on with that?
Yeah, so SAAC, for those who don't know, it stands for Student Athlete Advisory Committee. And what that is, it's our student athletes across the conference, across the whole of Division III and every NCAA level. They come together, and what they do is they actually put the legislation in place, right? So, taking away the national stories with eligibility and NIL and all that stuff.
Yeah.
What SAC does is they actually are putting in place the stuff that, back in the days that we talked about. So, practice rules, playing, reporting dates, practice hours, coaches' availability as far as reaching out on social media. Okay. So they're really shaping what their experience is in college. So they have that input, and they go to the convention, and it gets voted on, so they push proposals through. So I'd like to give a shout-out to our newest national representative, Molly Mason from Lyon College. She's our national rep for the SLIAC, and she goes to the meetings and gets the whole voice. Obviously we're a conference, work with, 40 other conferences across the Division III level, but they talk about how their student athletes are experiencing it and how can we enhance it and how can we better their experience in college.
That's a fairly new.
It's been going on for a while, but here in our conference in the SLAC, we're trying to rebuild it up. We were going strong. COVID hit, kind of took a step back. Right, you're not getting that face-to-face interaction. So we're trying to build it back up now, and really look forward to it. Our SAC programs have done a good job over the past years. One of the things that not only shape the legislation, but they get involved in community service. And so a lot of our schools have done that. We've raised, I think it's close to $50,000 over the years for Dig Pink, for volleyball. We've raised money for Coaches vs. Cancer. So it's getting the students' involvement and helping develop their leadership skills that way as well.
That's very cool. I like how that program sounds, and it gets some people involved doing things like that. That's kind of neat. I kind of like that.
Yeah, it gives them that experience. That's the great thing about college. It helps you develop your character, and athletics does it one way, but also this SAC allows them to develop those leadership characters in another way, and how to apply what they learn in athletics into the real world, and then they take that on once they graduate into the professional world.
Yeah. What do you see the difference in your time doing what you're doing with the players both on the men's side and the women's side?
Yeah, so what
do you see? Is it things they're getting better? It's the same. It's
It's give and take, right? There's pros and cons to every kind of new development, right? You've seen the growth of technology, which has really allowed some really cool things. You can get some really close, interviews, with student athletes. It used to be I'd have to drive to their campus. Yeah. Now I can Zoom, right?
Yeah, right.
So that's helpful.
Right.
So you get the accessibility is really great. But then on the flip side, accessibility can also be a curse because then you have fans thinking that they know these people, and what we've seen a lot is in social media they'll reply and they'll reach out directly to the student athletes, and some stuff that's not so nice that's being said. If they have a bad game or and that's what you don't like to see.
Social media.
So like I said, there's pros and cons of everything. So the technology part's great. As long as people behave. But that's probably the biggest change I've seen is that accessibility, and it allows people to kind of promote themselves, which is a good thing. You get to know the people off the court, right? So that's a really cool thing.
How about analytics in say down to the Division III level? I'm sure it just has ballooned this last couple of years.
Yeah, that's where that's one of the things that. When I first got in this business 20 years ago, analytics wasn't a thing.
Right.
But now it's very important. It helps me understand, be more efficient in my job. If I'm doing something and it's not getting the engagement or getting the impact that I want, then I'm going to drop it. I want to be efficient with my work. Change it up. I've tried different things. Always try something. See. Throw it against the wall like a pasta noodle, see if it sticks. So that's what analytics helps me do is see what are people liking, what are they visiting, what are they watching, what are they engaging with, and if that's working, keep at it. How can I tweak it? How can I develop it? And if it's not working, then it's not worth my time. It's not worth their time. It's not worth doing. So you just cut that.
And where do you get your analytics from?
So we have built-in Google Analytics tied into our conference website through Sidearm, so that's built in. Then, of course, you've got your social media engagements with Facebook and Facebook, Instagram, and in Twitter or X, whatever. So there's a couple different sources that you keep your eye on.
Interesting. So, wrapping this up, what do you have left to do this weekend, and where do you think this game's going?
Well,
I'll put you on the spot a little bit.
I mean, like we mentioned earlier, I think this game is so special and unique, and that you mentioned Webster with the strong program merging with FOMP on another strong program, so you got this kind of super team going against one of the newcomers in the league, MUW. What a season they've had.
Whose stats are phenomenal.
And it's funny, they're a younger team with only 2 seniors, I believe, on their team. But what a season they've had. It's been kind of up and down, and they're playing great ball right now. They handed Webster their only conference loss this season. Prevented them from that undefeated conference season. So they're playing extremely well. So it's neat seeing that old guard meet the new face and having these two teams play. So I'm excited for this second half. What else we got going on? I'm excited to hand out 2 titles today.
And we want to remind everybody when this game's over, we do have the award ceremonies afterwards, and always look forward to that. And we thank you for coming up.
All right.
Look forward to talking.
Yep.
All right. Thank you. That's Brian Levelett, the SID for SLIAC. And we will take a quick break here. And when we come back, we'll have some first half stats for you as you are watching SLIAC TV.
Welcome back to SLIAC TV. We are moments away from getting started here in the second half. Before we do, we'll go over some of the stats for you for both teams. It is 40-37 in favor of the Webster Gorloks here at the halftime break. And for the Owls of MUW, pacing all Owls scores, Tyler Shepard with 13. He's 3 of 4 from beyond the arc, 5 of 7 from the field. Trey Hughley, the conference's player of the year, has 12. He is 4 for 4 from the line and 4 of 6 from the field. He's got 7 rebounds to go along with it. Putting together quite the first half there.
Yeah.
And no surprise from the conference's player of the year for MUW, shooting 13 of 25, good for 52% from the field, just 3 of 6 from beyond the arc, so a handful of attempts there. And 8 of 10 from the free throw line. That kind of rounds out the stats for MUW, and 8 turnovers.
And they average 52% on the year, and that's what they had in that half. And I would not have said that. They hit shots a lot at the beginning, but they cooled off here. Obviously, if they lost their lead, which they at one point was 11 points. So, yeah. So, all right. What about Webster?
Well, the Gorloks, again, as Jim mentioned it was kind of just a slow crawl to get back into it. Eventually took advantage of a cold streak from the Owls. Charles Nelson paces all Gorloks with 18, 8 of 13 from the field. And, man, he's been a man on a mission when he enters into the paint. 13 points for Ethan Chartrand there. He was 3 of 7 from beyond the arc. Just didn't realize he put up 7 from deep, 5 of 11 from the field.
He gave him a spark, though, for sure.
He really did. Kendall Horton as well. Not really any of the plays for Horton going to show up in the stat sheet at the half, but the effort from Horton really got not only his team going, but this crowd going as well. And kind of round out the scoring there. Sykes the second with 7. I mentioned at the time, kind of a sneaky 7, but he's got 5 rebounds to go along with it. I think importantly there, 3 offensive rebounds for Sykes the second. And numbers real quick, 42.9% from the field, 5 of 15 from beyond the arc, and a perfect 5 for 5 from the line for the Gorloks. 7 turnovers committed by Webster. That kind of sets the scene here for you as we start this second half. Tyler Rosa, Jim Plyman alongside you. So we are 20 minutes away from crowning a champion here in the 2025-26 season. Gorloks will start with the possession, move left to right here in the second half. Ugo. Didn't see much of him in that first half. Obviously got the start and gets the start again here in the second, but didn't have a ton of minutes. Painter with a nice spin move along the baseline and finish as it rolled around the rim.
That was a quick spin.
He got around his man.
Yep.
Rather easily and got the finish and sat on the front of the rim for a moment, but got it to drop. Out to a 5-point lead. Ugo gets a hand in the way, knocks it out, and it goes off of Hughley. Turns it back to the Gorloks. 19:24 to play here in the second half. Sykes the second. Gives to Painter. And they play a bit of catch as Sykes looking for an option. Gets Chartrand. Pulls up from 3 and hits.
He knew it.
Yeah, he did.
He knew it.
He's starting to feel it. He was starting to feel it there late in that first half. Carries it over here a minute into this second half. 45-37, the Gorlok lead. Joe Austin lost his footing for a moment, able to keep his pivot and gives it up. Walker now. Over to Reed, who spins. Flips one up and in, high off the window. That's a tough finish.
Yeah. It was.
Jackson Reed with the bandaged left shoulder. Does work towards the baseline, just flips it up and in. About that, this Owls team, at least recently, showing they're going to need some plays like that to stay right there in it as Ugo gets the oop and lays it in off the window.
Ugo gets involved now.
Yeah.
Oh, and they're working hard on Hughley. Wow.
Yeah. Ugo working with 2 fouls. Yeah. Chartrand was lurking behind as Hughley gets the pass off to Shepard, who hops through the paint and gets 2 off the glass. Chartrand collects, dribbles through the paint, almost walked as he was looking for Sykes.
Almost?
Painter, that's why we're up here, right?
Uh-huh.
Drop to Ugo at the baseline, trying to spin around Hughley. Shot was affected on its way up. Joe Austin
Nice
tips it to a
tip,
teammate.
Yep. Boy, he sees the floor.
Yeah.
Now
Bounce
let's watch
pass
this.
into
One-on-one.
Hughley.
Watch this. Nope.
Now kicked back out, left all alone. 3 on its
Oh.
way is good from Jackson Reed. And that's the danger of selling out on the conference's player of the year. You saw it. 4 collapse down to the paint. So many options become available for the Owls, and Reed knocks it down. He's got 5 quick ones and important ones here for the Owls. Ugo dribbles it off his foot, able to keep it. Puts up a hook shot, no good.
Force that.
Hey.
Treble.
Wow. And Painter just looks at our referee.
Said you had it up here, you brought it to the floor, and you fell down.
Painter turns it back over, and all of a sudden the Owls can tie here with a 3.
It wasn't a direct quote, but that's what the referee was saying with his eyes and that hand motion.
Over to Walker as he gets it to Hughley.
All right.
A bit more one-on-one there, and that cross-court pass was tipped away by Nelson, and then he's fouled by Joe Austin. That'll be Austin's first. Team's first, and shocker here because it took the Owls quite a bit of time in that first half to get their first team foul. They have one now, not 4 minutes into the second half, and before Webster picks one up. As Nelson works off the pseudo screen from Ugo.
Oh, man, wide open.
Painter left all alone. Goaltending there as it was off the backboard first. And Painter will take 2 points. And just mistimed there by Walker as he has a chat with the referee at the baseline.
But they were smiling that time.
Yeah. much more understanding conversation this go around.
You got it. Yeah, I know. I did it. I got it. You're right.
Just a bit late as Walker gets it out to Hayes Austin across the timeline. He dribbles into the paint, stops, leaves it for Hughley. He's fouled as the shot was no good.
Looks like Justin Hugo will pick up the foul.
That'll be his 3rd. And we saw a healthy rotation of big men after Ugo picked up 2 in that first half. And now with him picking up 3, we'll see if the head coach, Chris Bunch, rolls the dice, and maybe we'll wait for Ugo to potentially pick up his 4th before giving him a rest, as the first is good from Hughley.
Hughley 5 for 5 now from the line.
Well, yeah, and if you're MUW, you just hope it's within free throws down the stretch.
Yeah.
And you can get a guy like Hughley to the line, knocks in another one. And it's a 3-point game.
Well, Webster can't get it any further than around 5-ish.
Yeah.
MUW hanging on.
Yeah, just had a little bit of a bubble around that. Can't pop it. As Nelson drops a bounce pass to
baseline.
Ugo. Defended by Hughley. Cut off. Nicely done. Forces a tough shot from Ugo that's too strong, and Hughley comes down with the board. Well, so many of these Owls play great defense. Only one's going to get Defensive Player of the Year, but you saw Hughley with his defensive prowess and the offensive at
and
the
the
other
speed
end.
in the paint beat Hugo there.
Yeah. Kind of shifty and tight space like that. I've seen it a few times tonight.
Yeah, you don't want one-on-one there.
No. Nelson thought about a bounce pass to Ugo, settles for an off-balance shot, no good. And Walker tracks down the rebound. Dribbles with the left up the floor, settles here at the near wing. Working on Chartrand, cut off there as he approached the baseline. Kicks it back out. Austin.
We had an
drives.
opening. Closed quickly.
Oh,
Nice feed.
Flips it to Walker at the baseline. He gets 2 and he's fouled. 14:57 to play.
And we have a lead change.
MUW goes back on top. We have reached the under 16 media timeout. We'll keep it here as it's a 50-49 MUW lead. And we'll have the extra free throw after the break, and we'll get some more all-conference honors your way.
Let's do some of the first team all-conference from SLIAC here in the 2025-2026 season. Trey Hughley, as we've mentioned, he was a first-teamer along with Jalen Jeter out of Blackburn College, LaKendrick Morris from Spalding University, Charles Nelson from Webster, as he's showing why that is this afternoon. And Trayvon Taylor out of Lyon College. Those are first team all-conference. Second team goes to Joe Hayes Austin from MUW. And then it is Stephen Reed from Lyon College. Nolan Simon out of Principia. From Webster University was Jamard Sykes II. And from Greenville, it's Joshua Williford. The third team all-conference, Walker Goring out of Westminster. Evan Jordan from Blackburn. Tim Lofton out of Greenville. Out of Webster is Adam Painter. And from Eureka College, Jackson Provo. Those are your first, second, and third team all-conference SLIAC players this year.
Congratulations to everybody who has earned those awards this year. And a nice thing that the conference has done over the past few years, kind of making all of that information public leading up to the tournament, so everyone can get the proper recognition throughout. And, of course, after each championship game today, we will have all of the awards in recognition of the all-conference and recognition of our champions and runners-up. And if we can find out for sure when maybe the selection show is, it's either going to be tomorrow or Monday, as the old-fashioned three-point play is completed.
Well, the Owls have now regained the lead.
51-49, and, well, no surprise the way that first half went. It's just going to be a back-and-forth affair, I'd imagine, over the next 15 minutes. Shot no good. Nelson comes in for the rebound. He's fouled as he falls hard to the floor.
Well, that 2-inch advantage that Constant has over Hughley has showed a few times today.
It has. Yeah, and Constance had to make the most of the minutes here. I mentioned he got a lot of PT in that first half, and with 3 on Hugo here in the second, certainly going to have to make himself a factor, even if it's just defensively on Hughley. As Nelson hops through the paint again, shot no good off the mark. Long rebound tipped all the way out to Shepard.
Slow it. There you go. Sorry.
No, you're good. This Owls team knows when to push it and when to pull it
out. Yeah, they did it very well there. Didn't have the numbers.
And tried to get one into Walker, and it was up and over his head as he brought it down. It got away from him. And the Gorlocks a chance to tie or take the lead. Horton stops, pulls up. Shot may have been tipped there by Shepard, and we got a Gorlock down behind the play. It looks like Sykes the second. Back at the other end, 2 points. And we get a timeout here at the other end, 53-49. As
he took that one right in the face.
Yeah. Sykes the second stays down behind the play. Both teams going to the bench as Sykes the second gets looked at. We'll step aside real quick as you're watching SLIAC TV, powered by Prepcast.com.
For the love of the game. That's what it's all about, they say. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that.
It's more about team and the schools and communities we represent.
And for the many of us blessed with the strength to compete in sport at the college level, we understand that with what we were given comes a special obligation.
Our obligation to help those who have their own special needs and whose love for the game is no less intense.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. Since August of 2011, we and others from Division III campus communities have volunteered more than 250,000 hours, time away from the classroom and practice field, reaching across the country to coach and mentor Special Olympics athletes.
And to learn that in giving, we receive so much more in return. Help us keep that dream alive.
Be part of it.
Get involved.
You can make a difference.
Well, good to see Jamard Sykes II gets up on his own and walks on his own as he heads back to the training room to get looked at, and took a shot towards the head and face and was getting looked at, and hopefully more just precaution and to make sure he's all right. Hopefully he can get himself back into this game.
Sebastian Reed checks in.
Yep. And a little delay in the action getting restarted as head coach Chris Bunch was
talking to his bench down there. Might have been a little verbal stuff going on there. I don't know.
As Reed collects the pass, turn and shoot in the paint, shot off the mark, get a foul underneath, and who are they going to get? Jackson Reed.
Jackson Reed. Now looks like the officials might want to start calling a few things here. We'll see. We'll see how this tightens up here in this 13:39 left to go.
Yeah, Horton and Reed were locked up there, and that was one of those kind of wraparound throw after the whistles. And probably would have scored you 2 points on the wrestling mat.
There you go.
Is Horton, or rather Chartrand drives and kicks to Reed.
8 on the clock.
Nelson now 5 as he drives baseline, worked off and
hit.
Forced a tough shot there by Joe Austin, and Hughley was there to cut him off at the block too. 53-49, Owls in front, trying to extend this lead. Shepard fakes or hesitates, then drives, and shot no good off the backboard. Reed comes in with the board. Sebastian Reed, that is. Chartrand puts up a 3 on the pass from Horton, no good off the rim. And Constance. Oh, did they get Walker?
I think they did.
Oh, wow. So Walker picks up the foul as Constant went over the top of him, but they're going to say, I guess, that Walker backed into Constant and forced him over the top. Either way, it inbounds underneath, and the 4th team foul with just under 13 to play for MUW. Nelson puts up a shot, no good, as he falls to the floor and ran himself into a bit of traffic. Reed drops it off. Walker creates some space, puts up a shot, he's fouled.
Well, good, bad, or indifferent, whistles are going to come into play here.
Yeah.
It's going to, you can see the trend coming. And that is what MUW doesn't want to get into.
I was just going to say, doesn't bode well for the Owls.
No.
Again, already 14 fouls for MUW, a team that I think only had 6 in that first half. Check that real quick. First is good.
Yeah.
Only 3.
Yeah.
So, yep. Quite the change here with 12:40 to play in the ball game. They keep making free throws, it might not matter. It pushes the lead out to 6. As Walker goes 2 for 2. Constant sets a screen and peels off and collects a pass. Yeah, he's left all alone looking for options as Nelson comes back. 12 to shoot as he drives. His shot sent away by Hughley.
Hughley just goes about his business, don't he? Wow.
It's like he was personally offended at the ball with that one. Man, you might want to check it for dents as Sykes the second comes back in. Good to see. Nelson will go to the bench. And Sykes the second was the one who got hit up in the face and was down for a little bit, getting checked out. And that pass, trying to get Chartrand on the inbound, knocked away by Walker, and just was never open with Chartrand.
Right.
Sykes the second will try again. Settles for Sebastian Reed. Gives it to Chartrand running on the edge of the paint, and his hook shot can't go off the backboard. The Owls. Shepard gets it down to Hughley, trying to work around Constant, gets into the paint, he shuffled,
Yep, good call. Even Coach Burrows agrees.
As we get our under 12 timeout with exactly 12 minutes left to play here in the second half. We'll take this one with both these teams as you're watching SLIAC TV, powered by Prepcast.com.
I want to say thank you. You know, a lot of your work doesn't get the appreciation that it deserves. What you do is lift up all of us, and you do that so selflessly.
We all have the same goal, which is to tell the great, incredible stories of these athletes in the college community.
That is why we are a great team as storytellers in this room, is we have to work together through really challenging, sweet moments.
Thank you to college sports communicators all across the country.
Welcome back to SLIAC TV at the Men's Basketball Championship. Tyler Rosen, Jim Plyman alongside you for at least the next 12 minutes here of this one. As the MUW Owls, they squandered a lead and got it back and have extended it out to 6 and are 12 minutes away from claiming their first SLIAC tournament championship in just their second tournament appearance.
Well, the Owls were down by 3 at halftime. Just joining us, they had an 11-point lead, 1 point earlier in the first half. Then that dwindled. And Webster came all the way back to take that lead by halftime.
And the Gorlocks have been searching really ever since the start of the half. And find themselves trailing by 6 here. And life has not gotten any easier at the offensive end, that's for sure.
No, I was just going to say defense by the Owls has been very strong.
Yeah. Harding Fair into the game for the Gorlocks. He goes around Hughley. Hook shot, no good. Follows up to get his own board and 2 points.
And there's that little bit of height advantage.
That's good work there by Harding Fair to stick with it after the first attempt.
Just a couple of inches.
And right after seeing Hughley swat that one about through the bricks over there.
Yeah.
Get Harding Fair in there to follow up. Oh, nice pass into Hughley. Kicks out. Shepard's 3 on its way. No good off the back heel. Oh, Shepard wanted it. It would have been a big one for him. Chartrand just keeps going. No one wants to pick him up. He gets 2. It's a 2-point game.
I think you got to start getting Joe Hayes Austin involved in this offense.
Yes, yes you do.
For the Owls.
Reed on the far wing, gets to Austin. Gets it to Walker, running the baseline, drops it to Shepard, and he stepped out of bounds.
That's a mistake you just can't make.
It is amazing how often it happens. And I know these guys much taller than I, and probably means bigger shoes out there on the floor, but it happens. It's happened a few times tonight, to your point. It happens quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it kind of just, it feels like it's baked into the turnover battle at this point.
Watch
in most
this battle
of
here.
Yeah, Harding Fair.
He went into the basket last time.
He wanted it and gives it up. Chartrand drives and flips it up and in with the runner to tie us up at 55. Under 10.5 to play. Reed for MUW. Austin was looking for Hughley, gets it to him off the free throw line. Cross-court pass knocked out of bounds by Sebastian Reed of Webster. 10:08 to play, 11 to shoot. It'll stay with the Owls.
Anybody's game with 10 minutes to go. This is what they wanted when they drew this one up, and this is what they got.
I was going to say.
This is good. Good stuff.
Exactly what the conference wanted, exactly what we want up here. And certainly for all the fans in the gym, it makes, well, at least for the neutrals, a fun affair. And Joe Austin lost the handle, regroups, and flips it up and in. Owls back on top. Well, you wanted him to get involved, and he'll do it any way he can. Is Reed to Sykes the second.
He averages 14. He only has 4, I believe.
You're right. Down to the baseline.
Reed. Close that.
Ooh, almost got going a bit too quick. Gives it back up. Chartrand, his jumper, no good. And Walker.
He checked the baseline, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Where's my foot?
Oh, that's good.
Oh, man.
Oh. Joe Austin drops it to Hughley. Has Reed up in the air. And
got him up.
2.
You're right. Got him up in the air.
What a find by Austin and a finish by Hughley.
Hughley with 20.
Feels like it should be more. Sykes the second shot a little short. Sebastian Reed with the offensive rebound and 2 off the glass. Move under 9 to play.
One of the shorter guys got in there. In with the big boys. Got the rebound. Put it off of the glass, as you mentioned.
Yeah, taking a page out of Charles Nelson's book.
Yeah, they're just fighting for points, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, they feel every possession feels so important here. Now approaching 8.5 minutes. Pull up, McCain, his mid-range jumper no good to get a foul underneath. Looks like it's going to be Chartrand.
Yep.
Team's 4th and his first, so
He got 20 points. He snuck up there pretty quick, Chartrand did.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, I've been caught up with the Hughley show in the light blue. And Chartrand is kind of sneaking up there, 20. Although, granted, he had, about 13 or 18 in that first half?
Nelson had 18 in the first half. He has not had any points this half.
Chartrand 13 in that first half. He's gone for 7 in the second. Kind of been an anchor for this Webster team. They can't get that one to go. Harding Fair is out rebounded there. And Walker will slow the pace. No surprise here for the Owls.
Walker's played hard.
Yeah, he has.
Both ends.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see the final rebound total for Walker. Well, really the final stat line, but he's going to be one of those that maybe gets overlooked with some of the other stars in this game. But he's been important.
Nelson.
Yeah, Hughley from Austin hesitates, then goes up and over Harding Fair and gets 2. Pushes the lead back out to 4, under 8 to play.
Got him up in the air again.
And that's going to draw Ugo to the scorers table at the next opportunity. That big man working with 3 fouls, that is. Nelson gives it to Chartrand, drops it down low to Harding Fair, who got looking up at the rim a little too soon.
Yep, and you are exactly right. You got a good look at that. You know, any sport, whatever it is, you got to get the ball first.
Catch, then run, catch, then shoot. You're absolutely right. There's a reason it's a process, as that's worked down to McCain, and should we get a tie?
Good call. Good call.
Possession arrow points away of the Owls, 7:05 to play. And it'll be 9 to shoot as we get our under 8 timeout. And we'll step aside here with 7:05 to play as you're watching SLIAC TV, powered by Prepcast.com.
To get that extra 10%. Reach the next level with Athletic Republic. Athletic Republic is science-based performance sports training, delivering intense, position-specific, one-on-one training. Stop working out and start training. Visit your local Athletic Republic training center today. Athletic Republic, where athletes who give 110% get the extra 10%.
.05 left to play here in the second half. Tyler Rose and Jim Plyman with you on SLIAC TV. Men's basketball championship here as we are coming down the stretch. Gorlocks and Owls battling it out. Owls with a 61-57 lead. And, well, it's just been fun back and forth basketball really since the start, or at least 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
And, well, Jim, we have nothing to complain about. That's for sure.
You can only – I'm sure this is going to be a great finish, and then we'll have the women's game tonight. It'll be a repeat of last year's championship game.
Man.
The Principia won at the buzzer. So it's a good day of basketball here on SLIAC TV, powered by Prepcast.com.
Happy to be a part of it. Appreciate the conference and their support with everything we need throughout the weekend as Joe Austin puts up a 3 halfway down offensive board,
Great
though.
Offensive rebound.
Shepard gets 2. He had to put that one up to Joe Austin, just 3 on the shot clock. It was halfway down, reset it to 20, and he got Shepard to follow up and get 2. And this Grand Gymnasium crowd, certainly pro Webster Gorlocks, has gone awfully silent here down the stretch. Chartrand somehow keeps the pivot foot, gets position, and gets 2 around Jackson Reed.
Boy, he is just willing his team.
He is.
He is.
It's almost like he's pleading for some help, too, on some of these trips down the floor.
Tyler Shepard's up to a quiet 17.
Yeah, that one's knocked away from McCain. He picks it back up, drives on Ugo, and Ugo goes straight up, shot no good. Shepard's there to put it back up, and he's fouled.
Another offensive rebound.
Man. And again, from another shorter player on the roster going in amongst the Redwoods and coming out with the rebound. And this time a foul and a trip to the line for Tyler Shepard.
And Coach Burrows has gotten Hughley a breather here, short breather, as he comes back into game along with Adam Painter.
Yeah, Horton will take a seat along with McCain. 6:03 to play. First was good. Back to a 5-point lead. Second's good.
Boy, free throws are key.
Well, they are, and this is a pretty good free throw shooting team. Shoots about just under 76% as a group, do the Owls. Webster pretty good themselves, shooting about 70%. Sykes the second, a big three from the wing. Oh, the Gorlocks needed something at the offensive end. A three to cut the lead in half will do.
That's a big one.
That is. It gets the crowd back into it, more importantly. Austin works around Painter, drops it to Hughley. His hook shot with the right is good. Man, so impressive. And
Austin finds Hughley a lot, don't he?
that connection is something lethal, that's for sure. Sykes the second, stops at the block, looking for help. Has it knocked away, settles for Ugo. Ugo puts up a shot, no good. Sykes the second with the offensive board, puts it on the floor, and then has his shot sent away by who else? Hughley. And now Walker up to Shepard. It's a 5-point Owl lead as we approach the final 5 minutes.
Big possession here for the Owls.
Reed to Austin. Reed was left all alone. Settles for Walker down low. Walker draws a foul. That should be on the floor, unless that'll be shooting. We'll see. We'll get ahead of ourselves.
Look at you being a referee.
I try.
Yeah. That's the fun part of it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You got a 50-50 chance of being right.
Right? Yeah. It's like being the weatherman.
There you go.
I think they're going to get 2 shots here, so they're going to say Walker was in the motion. There's a bang-bang along the baseline, and that's where I don't envy those wearing the stripes trying to figure that out. Amongst many things.
I've refereed soccer and umpired baseball. Never once have I put on the stripes in a basketball game. Never.
First 2 strong for Walker, and again, that's another thing worth giving a shout out through the weekend. The officiating crews have been awfully good, and they've facilitated games that have just been fun to watch and quality for both these teams. Certainly haven't been out of hand as far as physicality or anything like that. So they've made it an enjoyable weekend, to say the least. Back to a 6-point lead. Nelson drives in. His shot no good as Hughley got over.
Got the big paw up there.
It's a big stop there. Keeps it a 6-point game, and the Owls an opportunity to stretch this one out. 68-62. To the block. One dribble kicked back out to Austin. He dribble drives, drops it off to Walker. He goes up and down a couple of times. Shot was no good. Rebound being tipped around. Sykes the second collects up to Nelson, who drives and tried to drop it off to Chartrand and goes out of bounds off the Gorlocks. Back to the Owls. 4:05 to play.
Tyler Shepard got in the way there. That's one, if you head back, you'd just take it to the basket.
I was going to say Nelson a little too selfless there as he tried to drop that one off to Chartrand, and the spacing wasn't there at that point.
Nelson has still not scored a point in the second half.
And he sat for a good chunk of the second half, too, on the bench. But you're right, he's been held in check. Nothing's been easy offensively as Horton comes into the game, replaces Painter.
I think both these teams are going to fall well below their 82 and 83-point averages.
Yeah, at this rate, for sure, is MUW. And Walker brings it up the floor. Good pass. Mid-range jumper is good. 70-62 as Shepard brings in the range a little bit and knocks that one down.
Yeah, you don't see many of those 2-point jumpers anymore, do you?
No, not from that deep. He knocked it down. Sykes the second, puts up a 3 from the wing. Too strong off the rim. Hughley gets the board. Long outlet up the floor, and Shepard will wait.
Well done.
Yeah, 3.5 minutes left to play.
Could be a dagger possession here.
Got to get a stop here for the Gorlocks. Shepard goes up and is fouled.
That'll be the 8th team foul, I believe.
Comes with 3:18 to play. We get our under 4 timeout. We'll take it with both these teams. The Owls with 2 free throws upcoming when we come back here, as you're watching SLIAC TV, powered by Prepcast.com.
I want to say thank you. You know, a lot of your work doesn't get the appreciation that it deserves. What you do is lift up all of us, and you do that so selflessly.
We all have the same goal, which is to tell the great, incredible stories of these athletes in the college community.
That is why we are a great team as storytellers in this room, is we have to work together through really challenging, sweet moments.
Thank you to college sports communicators all across the country.
.318 left to play here in the second half. Gorloks and Owls battling it out. Owls leading the #1 seed and host Webster Gorloks 70-62. Shepherd at the line 4-2. Chance to put it to double figures. He makes the first. And it's a 9-point game. Makes them both. Double figures. They led by 11 in the first half, and it's been a long time coming to get back there, but they've opened up a 10-point lead late here in the second half, just over 3 minutes to play. Sykes the second to Chartrand at the wing. He drives. He's cut off again. Spins back into the paint, gets his man in the air, puts up a shot, fouled and one. We talked about it a couple of times. Chartrand trying to put the team on his back at the offensive end. That gives him 22. He'll go to the line for the extra.
Boy, he's played hard.
Yeah. And just the one foul, too. He makes the extra, 72-65. As the Gorloks will put on the press.
Yes, and it worked for them in the first half. Oh, no, I don't like that.
Yeah, skies one up and a jump ball to Joe Austin. And Sykes the second was in the mix. Sykes the second draws the foul.
An emphatic call by the referee, and that's fine.
Yeah.
He saw it.
And the right call there is Sykes the second. It certainly got in the position on an underthrown inbound.
Well, that had way too much hang time to it. And it was just thrown up there like a jump ball, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, really, that's what happened right around the center court line. Well, Webster gets another chance here to cut into this lead. They trail by 7. 2:53 to play.
And how about Webster kind of waiting as long as possible to employ the press and not let this Owls team get comfortable with it again in the second half.
Yeah.
Works out there. Still remains to be seen how effective it'll be here down the stretch. But giving yourself an opportunity if you're the Gorloks. Chartrand hesitates, now puts up a three over a man. No good. That was Shepherd. Harding Fair knocked down to the ground as he had the rebound in his hand. Owls all the way down the floor. Shepherd too strong. Nelson comes in and collects the rebound. Sykes the second in transition. Three on its way. No good. Too strong. Chartrand offensive board. Set on the front of the rim and gets it to drop. 72-67. 2:23 to play here in the second half.
This is not over.
Oh, man.
Not over.
Oh, just what? 30 seconds ago, it was a 10-point MUW lead. It's down to 5 and with 2:23 left.
They'll be pressing.
Oh, we'll take a break along with both these squads here. Setting up for a fun 2:23 here to end it. You're watching SLIAC TV, powered by Prepcast.com.
To get that extra 10%. Reach the next level with Athletic Republic. Athletic Republic is science-based performance sports training, delivering intense, position-specific, one-on-one training. Stop working out and start training. Visit your local Athletic Republic training center today. Athletic Republic, where athletes who give 110% get the extra 10%.
.223 left to play. The Owls of MUW holding on to a 5-point lead here as the number 2 seed on the road against the number 1 seed Webster Gorlocks. The Gorlocks, though, on a bit of a they are on a 5-0 run.
Yep.
It was just 10, and I won't say you could start the ceremony just yet, but certainly looked like the Owls are going to put it away. Gorlocks have had something to say. They put the press back on. This time handled much better by the Owls as Joe Austin gives it right back to Walker. Walker brings it up across the timeline.
Like we're in a man-to-man defense here.
Yeah. Sykes is second, defending well as he works in the lap of Walker. 14 to shoot. Gets the pass down low. That one's taken away by Nelson on his way out by Shepard. Or by Nelson from Shepard. Chartrand through the paint. He gets 2 off the glass. It's a 3-point game. Under 2 minutes to go. Chartrand with 29.
Yeah.
Joe Austin up the floor. That one's stolen away by Horton. Behind the back pass. And
does it go back court?
And this is going to be interesting because Horton collected it on the right side of your screen of the line. Behind the back pass, brought it across. And they're going to say over and back in a break there.
Boo, says the crowd.
I won't necessarily call it a break, but a break for the Owls in the sense that they keep a possession here and a chance to push this back out to a 2-possession game with 1:42 to play.
Harding Fair in on the defensive end here. Painter goes out.
Inbound goes into the corner. Jackson Reed fakes, trying to get some space. Has it knocked away by Horton. Ball's right to Chartrand. He's going with the head of steam. He flips it up with the right. Finger roll no good. Harding Fair with the board, and he is fouled. He'll go to the line for 2 with 90 seconds to play.
That might have been a good foul by Hughley, or as it may turn out to be, because that was going to be an easy putback. So now it'll be Dallas Harding Fair to the line, the junior from Sandoval, Illinois.
Shoots about 69% from the line, and none more important than these two right here.
90 seconds left.
First is up and good. You know what? I could shut up and just let you figure out with everyone else what happens. Well, this crowd has been a fun one, and we expect much of the same here tonight at 7 o'clock. The second is good. It's a 1-point game. The Owls, Harding Fair will be replaced by Painter.
Each team has 2 remaining timeouts, and I'm sure we're going to see those occur. Here comes the press by Webster.
Yeah, you got to make this 90 seconds last as long as possible, right? Well, at least if you're Webster right now.
10-point lead is dissolved to 1.
Walker just gets it in, throws it all the way down the floor. Hughley gets it the other end, spins, puts it up with the right. No good, tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Owls. A hook shot and a heck of an effort from Hughley. Just couldn't get it to go.
And we both made the right call on that. We both pointed that way at the same time. That's funny.
Trent Walker, man, he used about 4.5 of his 5 seconds to inbound that, and he threw a perfect Hail Mary down the sideline.
That was a Hail Mary.
Whew. Live to fight at least another possession.
Yeah, that used up 4 seconds.
Yeah. 20 on the shot clock. Hughley collects in the inbound pass. That one almost stolen away, trying to get it to Walker. Gets it back to Hughley.
Like this one-on-one here.
Yeah,
nope.
Harding Fair.
Does he want to go? He does go.
Trying to kick it out as Chartrand gets in the mix. Does get it to Walker. Gives it back to Hughley. 3 on the shot clock. Gets around Harding Fair. Puts it up and in off the window.
How did he get that in?
And then we get a whistle underneath. They're going to get Jackson Reed for a foul. He got tied up underneath after, and I think the Gorlocks were trying to get the inbounds in, and they're going to get Reed with a foul, I think. That's what it looked like based off his reaction.
I think so. Is that 7th team foul? Each team has 7 up there on the board.
But how about the finish there by Hughley?
Okay, Painter's back in.
They're going to, I guess, just separate the two. No foul given that I can tell. So apologies there. As Nelson, with his team trailing by 3, and we move under a minute. Sykes the second. Worked off the Painter screen and a bit of miscommunication. Gets it to Painter. To Nelson. His 3 on the way. It's good! We're tied up. It's 74. Nelson collects the pass. Goes up and shoots, fading towards the baseline and hits. Knotted up at 74. 48 seconds left to play.
No fear there. Wow. He just got that ball in his hands and let it go, and it just slid right through.
Charles Nelson had 18 in the first half. He's got 3 in the second, and not all of them right there on that shot. Maybe the biggest 3 points of the afternoon for him, certainly up to this point. And this crowd certainly re-energized and back into it with 48 seconds left to play. Here at Grand Gymnasium, Tyler Rosen, Jim Plyman alongside you. And, well, we were talking before the start of this game, number 1, number 2. It doesn't always necessarily mean that's the way it should be. We thought maybe it would be today, and man, has this game lived up to the hype that we've created and then some here down the stretch. This is, Jim, I'm going to do some quick math here, so I could be wrong. It's a 12-2 run to tie this back up for Webster, really over 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's been fun, I think, is just the simplest way to put it here this afternoon. Still got 48 seconds at least left to go here before we crown a champion. Listen to this crowd.
All right.
Everybody on their feet here at Grand Gymnasium, as it should be. The final 48 seconds of action. Walker to inbound. He finds Joe Austin. Presses on. Back off a little bit, and we'll go to man. Will the Gorlocks. 40 seconds to play, 20 to shoot. Walker. Looking for Hughley. Will settle for Jackson Reed.
Painter
Hughley,
is on Hughley now.
He is doing some hard work there as Painter.
He's giving up an inch or two.
Walker kicks. Reed, the extra. That shot is blocked away by Horton. He saves it right to Hughley. Puts it up with the right. No good off the rim. Follows up. Shot's good and 1.
Oh, my. What a sequence.
Walker gets 2. All after Horton saves it right to Hughley. His shot no good. Walker follows up. Puts 2 up and in and is fouled.
Holy moly.
16 seconds left to play. And Walker at the line. Walker, he shoots at 87%.
It's a big one.
He makes it. A 3-point lead, a timeout taken by MUW. No surprise to keep everyone on the same page here. And the old-fashioned 3-point play gives the Owls a 3-point lead. 16 seconds left to play here in regulation. And
what a sequence that was.
That is an unbelievable.
He makes the save, flings it back in. The Owls end up with the ball. And then
I mean, it's
Walker makes the basket. He gets the and 1.
Well, and that free throw is so big because now with 16 seconds, even with the timeout, if you're the Gorlocks, you have to go for three.
Yeah.
Certainly, you don't feel there's enough time to settle for a quick one and then try and play the foul game. You could.
Yeah. Yeah, or,
but,
if you're the Owls, you can just let them go in for the
Yeah.
2. Hey, take it. And
yeah. I mean,
you got to run. I would say you got to run a little time off of the clock
Yeah.
before you do that. I mean, if
Right.
they take a little while to get to that point, but certainly don't want to foul them.
Yeah.
Each team has 1 timeout left. 18 fouls on Webster, 7 on the Owls.
Both teams shooting the rest of the way.
Everybody up.
It's not quite March. We got to wait a few more hours for that,
Yeah.
but this certainly has the feel of one of those types of games. And we still have 16 seconds left to play.
Here we go.
Sykes, the second, will take the inbounds. Gets it across the timeline. Calls for the screen from Nelson. Can't
Look at
get
that.
it.
Look at
Joe
that.
Austin gets on the floor, forces a jump ball with 8 seconds. Possession arrow points away of the Gorlock. So they'll get another opportunity here with half the time gone.
That's your defensive player of the year, making one heck of a play there with 8 seconds to go.
Yeah, that's a heady play right there.
So now the Gorlocks get to make that play that they have in the book with 8 seconds to go and needing 3.
Yeah, I was maybe a little surprised there wasn't a timeout called right across the timeline there to
Yeah,
get it set
yeah.
up. Kind of works out, obviously, in the favor of the Gorlocks. You get it here with still plenty of time on the clock to draw up a real play, if you will.
But that did kill 8 seconds.
Killed 8 seconds.
Yeah.
And by calling that timeout, if you run into any trouble here on the inbounds, you're going to have to take your medicine.
Yeah.
Both
You want the
teams-
ball in the hands of Chartrand to take the 3?
I mean, you would say yes, just by the hot hand that he's
And
been
you gotta
able
watch
to
Nelson.
provide.
Yep, you got to
Nelson-
watch those 2.
We talked about it. I mean, this is a Webster team that's certainly got options. But we'll see what happens here. 8 seconds left to play. Sykes the second to inbound. Goes to Chartrand and flips it right back. 5 seconds. Sykes the second. Gets Nelson. His 3 on its way from the point. No good off the back heel. Chartrand, the offensive board, flips it up and in. It does not matter. The Owls of MUW have won their first SLIAC tournament title in just their second appearance as the number 2 seed here in the tournament. They come up and shock the number 1 seed, Webster University Gorlocks, 77-76, in an incredible SLIAC championship here at Great Gymnasium.
Wow. And they are wound up and excited as they should be.
And I think officially they're going to make
They're going to make that basket, that last.
I think so.
Okay.
Well, the referees got together, didn't change anything, and maybe for the better, just got out of Dodge. As this crowd is stunned here after Nelson got a really good look there at the end and just couldn't get it to drop in the Owls of MUW. How about that, Jim?
Wow.
They
So
come up,
it
they
turns
make-
out on that crazy play down there on the defensive end for the Gorlocks, they make the save, fling the ball back into play as it was going out of play. And then it ended up to Trent Walker, and he makes the basket, gets fouled, makes the free throw, which turns out to be the winning point.
Right. Well, we talked about it in the moment, how big that free throw was. Forced Webster to have to go for 3. They did down the stretch. Nelson had a great look, just couldn't get it to go. And that is our final. Congratulations to the head coach, Dean Burrows, his staff, and their squad for making a long trip up as a number 2 seed. And they win their first SLIAC tournament in just their second appearance. They were the only team to beat Webster during the regular season. They win the season series, and in the most important game of the season up to this point, at least before the NCAA tournament. And these guys are just so excited and so proud of the work, as they should be, that they put together. I mean, and to come back after squandering that double-digit lead here today, build back up a double-digit lead, let that one get away from you.
Yeah.
And the
Boy.
resiliency to still fight and come away with a win.
You got to give it to Webster for just staying with it, and they could have folded. At one point I remember saying they had the Owls had the ball down there. It could have been a dagger, and they got 2 free throws out of that, and they went up by 10. And then, again, man, Webster come charging back. They got the crowd into it and made the push, but the Owls just had enough.
They did.
You know, they get their first championship, as you mentioned. This was one heck of a basketball game. 77-76.
Well, we'll wrap it up here. We want to remind everyone we're going to carry all of the ceremonies, trophy presentation, all conference. We'll turn the mics up for that, but we're going to sign off here. And we'll join you again at 7 o'clock as the women's basketball championship between the Webster Gorlocks and the 2-seed Principia Panthers will be coming your way on SLIAC TV. Again, that's at 7 o'clock. For my partner, Jim Plyman, I'm Tyler Rosen, reminding you of our final score is MUW wins their first SLIAC tournament championship by a score of 77-76 over the number 1 seed Webster University Gorlocks. Congrats to MUW, the Owls, and the head coach, Dean Burrows, on their championship. Until 7 o'clock here on SLIAC TV.
Assistant Commissioner Brian Levetti will present the 2026 Men's Basketball All-Conference Awards. We will start by recognizing the conference's regular season champions, Webster University. Now to honor the 2026 SLIAC Team Sportsmanship Award winner. This award is given to the teams whose players, coaches, and fans best exhibit the principles of good sportsmanship. The recipient of the 2026 Men's Basketball Sportsmanship Award, Webster University. To recognize individual student athletes, we ask that individuals being honored step to the side for a quick photo. Continuing to recognize the importance of sportsmanship, our next honor will recognize one individual from each conference team, selected by his coach and teammates who throughout the season best displayed the ideals of sportsmanship. The 2025 Men's Basketball All-Sportsman team is below. From Blackburn College, Peyton Cook. From Eureka College, Jacob Gonzalez. From Greenville University, Caleb Johnson. From Lyon College, Jerron Harriet. From Mississippi University for Women, Jackson Reed. From Principia College, Derek Schroman. From Spalding University, Dawson Miller. From Webster University, Will Harmon. And from Westminster College, Matt Martucci. The 2026 All-Conference team, starting with our All-Defensive team. From Blackburn College, Jalen Jeter. From Westminster College, Jamal Johnson. From Spalding University, Devontae McCampbell. From Webster University, Jamar Sykes II. From Mississippi University for women, and also the Defensive Player of the Year, Joe Hayes Austin. SLIAC All-Conference third team members. From Westminster College, Walker Goring. From Blackburn College, Evan Jordan. From Greenville University, Tim Lofton. From Eureka College, Jackson Provost. From Webster University, Adam Painter. The 2026 All-SLIAC second team members. From MUW, Joe Hayes Austin. From Lyon College, Stephen Reed. From Principia College, Nolan Simon. From Webster University, Jamar Sykes II. And from Greenville University, Joshua Williford. And now the 2026 St. Louis Intercollegiate Athletic All-Conference First Team. From MUW, Trey Hughley. From Blackburn College, Jalen Jeter. From Spalding University, LaKendrick Morris. From Lyon College, Trevon Taylor. And from Webster University, Charles Nelson. Now for the individual award winners for the 2026 season. The sixth man of the year from Blackburn College, Jalen Jeter. The individual selected as the 2026 SLIAC Freshman of the Year from Blackburn College, Evan Jordan. The 2026 SLIAC Coach of the Year from Webster University, Chris Bunch. And the final individual award is presented to the 25-26 SLIAC Conference Player of the Year from MUW, Trey Hughley. And now we'd like to recognize the 2026 All-Tournament Team. From Blackburn, Peyton Cook. From Greenville University, Brandon Tolley. From Lyon College, Stephen Reed. From Spalding University, Dearius Wells. Webster University, Ethan Chartrand. From Webster University, Charles Nelson. From MUW, Trey Hughley. From MUW, Joe Hayes Austin. And the most valuable player of the 2026 SLIAC Tournament from MUW, Trent Walker. And now, the 2026 SLIAC Men's Basketball Tournament Champions, MUW Owls. That's next. We're going to something that. The NCAA will announce the 2026 Men's Basketball Tournament bracket on Monday on www.ncaa.com. Ladies and gentlemen, the St. Louis Intercollegiate Athletic Conference and Webster University thank you for your support of our student athletes. Please drive home safely.
You get Joe Hayes Austin with his shirt off.